Right then, a little bit impromptu, but we should be live, and indeed it looks like we are. Let's have a little look here. Yeah, there we are. Second screen doing just fine. And that should be good. No, I don't want that. There we go. Perfect. Hey there, Isaac. And yeah, we'll give it a little bit of time first, but we'll get going fairly quickly here, I think. Hey there, Brady and Jasdeep. Nice to have you around. Yes, this is a little bit off the cuff, this one, but kind of has to be given the schedule that has suddenly sprung up. Normally today would be a day where just a regular video would come out, but I have pushed that back by a day so that we can instead do this, because I don't think it's very unlikely I'd be able to do a stream like this tomorrow or on Wednesday. Thursday's looking a little bit more promising, however. But all should be well. I was right to be paranoid about the volume of the music as well in part 1, because that one was demonetized because of Howard Shore music being apparently hearable by YouTube's ever-vigilant censors. So I was correct to be a little bit paranoid about that, but hopefully the second one was just fine, so we should be golden there. But we shall load right on into the game. Hey there, Morris. And as far as I remember, we were at the start of a turn rather than the end of one. I think that's where I intended to leave off. Hey there, Badania. Good to see you as well. Hopefully we're at the start of the turn anyway. Means we won't just have to immediately pass the first turn. And we have our army ready, marching towards Mount Gundabad. Hey there, Xavier. A little bit, like, this is probably the part of the campaign. So far it's been fairly plain sailing, but triggering that Gundabad doomstack is probably going to be the first moment of genuine peril, because it kind of depends on what Gundabad get given in that doomstack. If it's mostly regular stuff, then we'll be alright. But if they have a healthy amount of Bolgs champions, Pale Uruks, and Black Shield archers, actually, because they're a very good archer for what they are, we may be in trouble. Mount Gundabad itself, though, is a reasonably defensible location. Right, we'll put you there. Can we see? Okay, so King Mazog himself is in there, who I think his General's Bodyguard unit is a unit of Pale Uruks, I think. I don't believe it's Bolgs champions. Hope you're safe from Corona. Yeah, that's just fine for the moment. To be fair, there's not a lot of people on the university campus, so the likelihood of actually encountering it is pretty low. There's another general in there, which I think is just a generic one, so he'll be Mountain Guard. And a couple of Snowwalk units. So, yes, we can, in fact, move. So we shall creep our way forwards. And we shall construct a watchtower here, because we're technically still within our territory. Our territory encompasses the whole of the Ered Mithrin mountain range at this stage. So next turn we might be able to get in there. If not, we will just jump into that fort that's right there. Hopefully these orcs that are in Yawlstone will continue to prioritise the Anduin Vale. The Anduin Vale are more than capable of withstanding those blows anyway. Also, so that's a relatively small army. The doomstack may not even go straight back to Gundabad. They may try to move along here and instead go after Dane's Halls, which I think was the thinking behind bringing these units forward, so we could bulk up the defences over there. And Onazanar, what I'm going to be doing moving forwards is prioritising Onazanar to be a recruitment hub, more so than anything else. Dane's Halls and Erebor will be a bit of a mix, and Kirik Gathol will be almost entirely an economic hub for the time being. Hey there, Mersad. Nice to have you here. And Rakuburg. Oh yeah, we can't build anything in Rakuburg because it's a village, much like Rockburg. Hopefully this grows a little bit more quickly, but dwarven population growth is not the best. 1200 is what we need, so yeah, that'll probably be fair. Oh no, not very high. Definitely not. Maximum growth we want from that so that we can actually get some use out of it. But other than that, I think it is just a very simplistic first turn. Don't really need more labourers. At this point it would be more of a waste to actually build them. Got a few labourers over here, but they're just there happily sitting in as the garrison. I don't believe we can actually train anything worthwhile in Dane's halls as of yet. So yeah, that is the entirety of our turn, and it looks as though Khazad-dûm have, well, I suppose it's fairly even in terms of the actual numbers that are involved here, but that being the case, individually the dwarves should be getting the better end of this engagement down here as well, which is nice for the free peoples as well. Will there be a Silmarillion or Reforged video up today? Not today, Morris, because I'm replacing it with this stream, because I wouldn't be able to do one tomorrow or Wednesday. There will be another video out tomorrow, however. The one that would have been out today will be out tomorrow, essentially. Hey there, Serpent King. So, yeah, there's nothing else for us really to do, I don't think, unless... Where are we? Where's our second diplomat gone? Should be around here somewhere. Ah, yes, here he is. We don't actually have a nailed-on alliance with Dorwinion yet, so we'll send him back this way. And that will be what it will be. If we can get Dorwinion into the fold as well, that'll be great. It'll stop them and Dale from doing that thing they've done in the last two campaigns where they inexplicably decide to declare war on one another. So where's the sound effects? I really don't like the fact that the end turn thing is classified as a sound effect rather than music files, because it means you can't just turn the music file down and universally that will stop any potential problems. I suppose they weren't really thinking of that when they were making the game, though. Ah, there's a small smattering of orcs before us. Lorien under attack. They should be fine. When we passed through them, they were doing okay, and Dol Guldur didn't seem to be that large. Fornost has been assaulted. Angmar are strong, so that's probably the one of the areas on the map anyway where evil are having a good one. Can anyone help me with the installation of Dak? Anad, Arakir's video should be more than sufficient for that, surely. It's very easy to follow, I would say. The installer does most of the work for you these days. Hey there, Angel 1999. Right, what do we have here? End of turn report. Mordor Rune. Rune being the financial powerhouse of the map, but not necessarily translating that to their actual performances. Right, so yeah, they're just fine. So, what do we have here? We have got Captain Zogda. That's a decent little force, actually, that. And then we have Thukrad as well. Okay, so we can't quite make it just yet, but what we can do, cannot construct a watchtower there. We don't really need to anyway. We cannot lead night attacks with Gimli. Gimli is unable to do so. But yes, we shall fight this one, I think. There may be... Yeah, so he does have a unit of archers, but we should have more archers, shouldn't we? Or do we? Yeah, we do. We have 2 units of Northman archers. We have cavalry. All should be well. And we have a ballista, so yes. We won't take the fort on the way through because we want to chase these stragglers down, so they've got as little on the field as possible when the doomstack is upon us. Yeah, it really does depend on what is actually in that doomstack. Mount Gundabad itself is a pretty easy settlement to defend. I think, if I'm thinking of the right one, it's very much like the Black Gate in how it's laid out. If I'm thinking of the correct one. Okay, so they're definitely going to pull back to the hill that's right behind them. So we're going to have to chase them down once more. Right, we won't have them on fire at will just for the moment. Archers as well, everything else. Okay, let's get all of our mattocks into a group. Because I don't think we want them going forward right from the off, given the presence of Gundabad archers. They really aren't too bad at archery, Gundabad, by Orcish standards. And then there's Gimli and the Axe Guard of Erebor. It's nice to have these high tier units. It means we're not completely defenseless against the likes of Bolg's champions. Oh yeah, we have axe throwers as well, don't we? Oh yeah, they're over. Okay, well, I'll tell you what, this wing can just sort of hang out over here. And then there's also our cavalry, which if we can get them into... I really want to keep them alive for the Gundabad settlement as well, though, because the harassment we can get with them could be really good. And... where are they going? Yeah, they are. They're going over there. To the surprise of absolutely no one. Some axe throwers going over there as well. We don't really need the rest of the force, to be honest. Want to be as efficient with this as possible. Can't afford to be losing too many dwarves before the doomstack is even upon us. Especially not to the lower echelons of the Gundabad roster. So they're definitely going to go on top of that mound there, so we can actually get away with putting our ballista over here. And we'll get our Northman archers over here as well. I was actually looking through the Erebor roster as well. The dwarves in general have got that lower charge bonus because of their diminutive height, but one thing that actually quite surprised me is I didn't really think this was Erebor's wheelhouse as such, but the Iron Guard, the highest tier line infantry unit that isn't AP, is actually, you know, better on the offensive than the equivalents from Ered Luin and Khazad-dûm even, which is surprising. Although those two units do have better defensive abilities, which is ultimately more important. I know you've just started this campaign, but have you thought which faction you'll play next? A little bit. Angel. What do you call a gathering of dwarfs? A stench. But yeah, someone in Eriador, I think. I was thinking Bree because they have like a fairly unique... They've got that unique recruitment system, and of the factions that are over there, they are more complete, quote unquote, than the likes of Enedwaith and Dunland are, because Enedwaith and Dunland are getting some overhauls, which is worth bearing in mind. Right, you go there. Axe Guard of Erebor can go over there. Right, we should be able to start taking some pot shots at them from here. Possibly Bree, Angel, I just said. Right, so are they going to leave the vicinity? Okay, well I guess we'll put them over here. You go there. You can go there, ready to charge in potentially. And you can go there. Yeah, I mean, I don't know, to be honest. Bree have got... There's certain advantages to playing as Bree. It's one of the few areas on the map where the initial enemies you have share your culture group. So you don't have to worry about changing the culture of the region you're in as much early on. And because your recruitment system works in a slightly different way, you don't have to prioritise recruitment because the way you recruit your units is by building the equivalent building that you want to see. Gotta love the AI. Cowardice at the highest order. Right, you go there. Are they actually going to retreat from this location? Yep, they are. They're going to take cover behind that, like the cowards that they are. Okay. Go there. Go there. Go there. Problem is infantry quality, which is none. Well, I mean, to be fair, like they get around that by simply not using their own infantry in the campaign. Later on, you either take the mercenary route, in which case you get access to some higher end dwarven units and some other decent mercs, or you go for probably the better choice in many ways, which is to be able to recruit Dunedain units and you get a high elven stack. Do you think the King's Halberds have a mistake in their stats? They do have a mistake, Xavier. It's a well-known bug. I think it's because Val was here last time and they used to be pikes, so they probably just didn't change the damage value from them, which makes them obviously not really worthwhile to build, which is a shame because they're the only phalanx unit we have as Erebor, which is one of those like little gaps in our roster that the other dwarves don't have to deal with. Ered Luin in particular. Yeah, shoot them. There we go. Right, they should be coaxed into coming forward now. Right, you don't do that because you're going to smash your own artillery pieces up, you fools. We'll get you into loose, I think. Oh, for the AI to actually gain a sense of courage. Now, these things happen, Xavier. Ooh, they're actually coming forward in a rather big way. So let's send them in, I guess. Right, shoot them. Run. They're actually not going after our more fragile units. They're going after the Axe Guard, which is a bit of a pain, but go after them. Right, those Mountain Guard probably will get a fair amount of kills. Right, what do we actually have going on here? Okay, yeah, so you gotta love the right, just crush them in melee then. They're absolute garbage anyway. And we got a volley off with them. They should break exceedingly quickly. Get out of guard mode as well. Right. We're going to take a lot of damage on those Erebor infantry though, which is a bit of a shame. You go backwards and get off of fire at will. Axe Guard of Erebor are in there, so we will be just fine. Oh yes, they're going to be like this, aren't they? That's my biggest complaint so far about playing as the dwarves, is the fact that you're so incredibly slow that even the AI with their limited faculties is capable of kiting you around. But this won't last for too much longer. That should be enough to get them gone. Right, just pull through. Took more losses than I would have liked here, to be honest with you, but such is the way of things when you're dealing with the cowardice of the AI. Right, I'm surprised that you didn't break them. Very disappointing performance by you as well. Right, just charge in there. Right, good. Very good. No. No. Yeah. This is another problem with hybrid units, is the fact that they are much more susceptible to that thing where only the front ranks of the unit will charge. They're not going to rout again. And that should be the end of proceedings. No, we need to continue. And they should be dead to the last man. Okay. Maybe when we get our Blacklock engineers, this will cease to be such an annoyance. For all of our strength in melee. If they're already slower, I don't really see the point of making them even slower by applying that 5% speed malice as well. It seems a little bit like overkill. But maybe I'm wrong about that. Right, good. None remaining, 79 losses. The glory of when we hold Mount Gundabad is they will have to come to us and they won't be able to engage in such shenanigans. And the road to Gundabad now lies completely open. I doubt that half stack that came out of Burza Kul will actually come for us. They might go back and try and defend Gundabad, which would be a slight problem. Every unit of shock infantry in the game. It's worse with the hybrid units though, Xavier. It's a problem with Med 2 in general. Unless you use up all the ammunition first, it rarely gives you like the full charge that you want. I mean, they only have their capital in there. Oh, their king in there now. So all is well. Relations worsened with Angmar. I don't really care too much about that because Angmar is likely to be the next major war we get into, given they are doing quite well, which is a bit of a rarity among the evil forces in this game so far. So Erebor axe throwers can go over here. I guess we can actually move all of these boys over to here as well, because Rakjeberg is almost certainly going to be completely safe, and Dane's Halls may have the doomstack go after it, so as many units as we can muster over there. Other than that, once again, we haven't really built anything fully yet, because all of our buildings were advanced enough to where we're already getting those later game buildings. Ah yes, you. And that is that again. So, of course, the Axe Guard of Erebor, having throwing axes on the Axe Guard of Erebor is never going to be a bad thing, because they're so damaging with them. They are armor-piercing projectiles, as they probably should be. And could probably do with some watchtowers over here, to be honest with you. But the money that Gloin is making us is too valuable as it stands. Okay. Let's see what Gundabad decide to do. I mean, that is a half stack, but it's a depleted half stack because the banner is a long way away from being half full. Yeah, I'm gonna have to turn the bloody the sound effects down because it's gonna flag me for that again. There we go. Hey there, Vlad von Karstein, number 456. Nice to have you here. Khazad-dûm and Moria doing their standard thing of being locked in an eternal struggle. In Windy's Dunedain campaign, though, Moria won fairly quickly, actually. This actually might work in our favour, because we can attack that unit that's there. They also trained more units in Gundabad itself. Mission failed, which is... yeah, we're not going to go after Dol Guldur. Construction report, Kirit Gathol, Anazanar, and Dane's Halls. Right, any more economy-based buildings that we can build here? We can go for a mining complex, a large pig farm, which actually would be quite useful. 4 turns on that. 2 turns on a grain exchange. Yeah, we'll go with that because we do need more population, even as the dwarves. Hold on. If we can get away with having half there. Nazanar, which we want recruitment primarily, which means steelmongers would actually be extremely useful, because it gives us a little bit of money, but also increases the effectiveness of our units. And finally over here, this is a good question for this place here, isn't it? Roads, miners' quarters. Go for the guild house in Kirit Gathol. Too late, Xavier. I've built so many guild houses at this point in the campaign that the time has come to stop increasing that for now and actually build some damn buildings. Because it feels like all I've been doing so far is building the stonemasons guild house in every place that I can. Now we need some other bits and pieces. What are we going to build here, though? I think we'll go with that, because that'll give us some more Erebor axe throwers in just 2 turns, which would be quite nice. Hey there, Ricky. Nice to have you around. we actually build units here yet? Nope. Unsurprising. Right, you. Good, so he's coming out. They are sallying forth. And... okay, so they've got a couple of archers. And you, Zogdush... I mean, they do have archers. It's not the best battle list, to be honest, given how slow and weedy we are at long range. We will need to get in there. We're going to take losses again, because that's just how we have to do business. But we're here now, and we have no choice but to keep marching forwards. This is the Gundabad king as well that we can cut the head off now. There's no need to go for culture in Danes Hall's Badania because we took it early enough that we have enough dwarven culture to get what we need from it at the moment. Maybe later we'll need to build up culture buildings, but for now it's a lesser concern. No, I don't, Badania. Not for the moment. We're still several turns away from the barracks event to the point where that would become relevant. So for now it would be a complete waste of time. Hey there, knight. Where else are we? Axe throwers, axe throwers. Right, technically we're the aggressor here, so once again we're going to have to go to them, which is, again, frustrating because we know exactly how the AI likes to do their business. Running to the corner and cowering in it, and because we're the dwarves we can't stop them from doing that because we're so painfully slow. Right, labourers, you can just stick around with the ballista crew actually, just in case anything tries to get in and around us. What is your plan for Rune? Because you start at war with them, Morris, but they don't... I mean, Dale are over there and Dorwinian are over there handling business at the moment, so... I mean, if Rune start to move forward, obviously we will have to deal with them, but there's no need for us to worry about that too much for the time being, I don't think, because they don't seem to be... Everyone says how strong Rune normally are, but in all three of the campaigns thus far, they haven't really been that impressive at all. Dorwinian have ruined them every time, and it doesn't look like that's going to be any different on this occasion either. Right, yeah, this is the best place to be. Ah, good. Marvellous. Right, you go there like so. So what we shall do... we shall... So that's actually the king, isn't it? So we will probably want to get some of our better stuff on deck ready to handle them. And over there with you, just in case they decide to move forwards as well. And then the spears can just roll in as well. And a run, most importantly. If I remember correctly, you can hire hammers of Gundabad near Mount Gundabad. Did it change as mercs? I'm not sure. I don't really trust the mercenary system, to be honest with you, because it can be balked too easily in version 4.5. But I mean, we can try it. I know that Sons of the Fallen are meant to spawn near Goblin Town as well. Right. If we can coax them into a fight here. Half trolls are a unit I'm quite scared of the doomstack having as well, because they've got like 3 hit points. They're ridiculously powerful as javelins as well, which is pretty much any dwarf's worst nightmare. Right, what have we got there? Yeah, fire at them. Iron Hills Mattocks, stay there. Stonefoot Spears, you can just be in reserve somewhere. Raiders. Snow Orc Spears, so yes. Yeah, I know that you can make them in Gundabad when we've captured it and we've built like the Hall of Durin, or whatever the building is. But I'd be surprised if they were mercs as well, to be honest, because it makes a little bit more sense with the Sons of the Fallen. Can we a little bit more? Right. So yeah, we're doing a decent amount of damage here. You shoot at them. Surprised that they're shooting into the front of our line infantry, to be honest with you, but I suppose I can't complain too much about that. Okay. Yeah, they are getting their reinforcements over here reasonably quickly. Good, good, good. What have they got as stragglers? Is it something we can charge? Sell swords? What are they doing marching alongside the filthy orcs? Right. Right, we're going to need to pause it here because there's going to be some manner... Yeah, of course. Now is when they decide to move forwards. To the surprise of absolutely no one, they picked the perfect time to do so. There are the pale orcs, so yeah, we will actually... We'll move backwards with these boys now. Oh, they're going to be slow, aren't they? Go on, move forwards, there we go. Why are you moving slowly? I told you to sprint. It's such a pain. Only seems to be an issue with the dwarves as well. Right, they charged in. They need to get out of there now. Sons of the Fallen and Mercs, North Misty Mountains region. Right, hold on just a second. We need to move the ballista because you're going to start mowing down your own men. And we'll move you over to here. Right. Pale orcs are actually back there now. Stonefoot spears. Go there like that. You can go here like so. Get out of melee. God, you're so slow. Again, you were supposed to... I literally ordered them to sprint and then they were like, nah, I think we'll just ignore that command and start to walk instead. Fraudulence is what it is. Right. Pale orcs. Definitely need to be firing our axes at them, because if we can kill... You're going the wrong way. I told you to charge and you decided to turn around. Cell swords are over there. Right, cavalry retreat. You go over there. You charge in there. Played an Erebor campaign, must say the Anduin Vale is very tough to fight as the dwarves. Well, they've got skin changes and stuff like the Karok Guard, don't they, which is pretty much ideally suited for fighting you. As strong as like the dwarven strengths are, they have very clear weaknesses, I must say. Right. Okay, victory seems certain. I was going to say, like, there's no way we should be losing to Snow Orc. Trash, for lack of a better term. That's a little bit more concerning. What's going on here? Okay, charge into them. And we'll try to... Actually, we'll try to... Yeah, we'll go right around the back because... I think that would be most useful. And you go there. You fire in there. At this point, I think it's just important we get our axes actually out onto the field. Again, I would have the battle sound effects turned up higher, but there's no way. I'm not risking getting the hammer of YouTube's copyright system coming down upon me. Which it will do, because of the end turn jingles. Yeah, those Snow Orc scouts are over there. We've got a downhill charge into those cell swords actually, so our mattocks probably will take quite a lot of damage, to be honest. The cell swords are a superior unit. But armor piercing, not bad stuff. What is going on there? Erebor infantry pretty much utterly victorious. can actually get ready and in position to attack them, because the Pale Uruks are on the way back. Stonefoot Spears seem to be doing reasonably. Blue Mountains have some speedy dwarves. Speedy by dwarven standards, perhaps. Keep going after them. Right, yeah, fire at them. Get those axes into them. The Pale Uruks, which bear a little bit in common with the Uruk-hai. You can see they have the same chest model and the same shield, actually. A strong unit. Right. Get into position there. Shoot at them. You can get into position there just in case we need to hit the panic button and get some archers into melee, but hopefully it won't come to that. We're still winning quite handily there. Actually, you go after them. We can charge into the scouts at this point. Yeah, we're wrapping up the line fairly nicely. Snowwalks are still doing their thing. We're still taking damage from the archers, but we're not actually dying in any huge quantity. Right, Gimli's out of ammunition, so we can now actually start to utilise him in melee. Right, that should be enough to break this unit, surely. Right through the gut of what is left of them. We'll just leave them in melee, make sure that they're gone. Yeah, and this is also quite annoying because there's probably no chance I actually catch these sellswords at this point unless I can sideswipe them with these mattocks. I go after them. Pale Uruks are taking a lot of damage. Okay, yeah, we did just about make it, which is good. And where else are we going? Yes. That should be enough to get them to leave the vicinity. And we're not going to take tons of losses. We took some losses on some of our Erebor infantry units, to be honest, but kind of unavoidable at this stage, I think. We just have to accept the fact that because we have no ranged units, no long-ranged units other than the Northman archers, it's just going to be a fact of life. Okay, at this point actually you can come around here and you can start to hit them in the back. You can keep moving forwards, chase after those scouts, as can you, to stop them from getting settled. You get into the back of them. You move there. Okay, good. Everything under complete control. Raiders. Oh, Gimli. Good opportunity here to go after the Pale Uruks. And we should be able to catch them at this point. There we go. We're going to catch them between a couple of infantry units. They are now actually free as well, so we can start getting them into the scouts. That is a good charge from the cav. But there are some spears in there, so let's pull them out. Mattocks are doing their thing. Having the mattocks, though, is definitely a good thing. Having that AP that we can be using. I was going to say there's no way the king was routing, so it must just be the captain unit from the main stack. Okay, go after them. And yeah, marvellous. Yeah, go after them. Well, actually, no. We do want to make sure that none of these actually come back. So make sure they're as dead as possible. Don't care about the sellswords. They're already damaged enough. And the armor piercing should be more than enough to get the result we want here. Where is the king himself? Does he have a unique model? Is this him with the 2 axes? I believe it is. It's a unique model that I haven't seen before. So King Mazog is about to fall. Okay. Bring him back for the Snow Orc Scouts now. Hey there, Val. Well, no, I wasn't actually planning to have one on Monday myself, but I realised that later on in the week, Tuesday and Wednesday, it's not going to be terribly feasible, and I missed entirely streaming last week because of how busy things were. So got to pivot, but this was always likely to happen. I did kind of figure that something like this would happen at some stage, but I didn't realise the whole schedule would be coming upon me all in the space of a couple of weeks. Confirming your kills is always wise. Snow Orc Scouts. Right, come on. Get in. I want the whole unit in melee, not just the front ranks. There we go. That's a little bit more like it. I mean, as soon as the king dies, then that's going to be the end of proceedings anyway. What's he doing? It's only the king that remains. Bizarre. Ooh, there's a lot of units over there. Go after them. What are we doing here? What? There we go. Good. The king falls. Just what we needed to hear. Again, we've taken more. I thought we'd be able to get to Mount Gundabad based on the complete lack of resistance up until, well, the seeming lack of units up here. But you know, Gundabad being an Orcish faction are capable of suddenly having like third and half stacks out of nowhere, really. Oh, their general was in a sellsword unit. That's bizarre. I mean, I suppose it was the strongest unit there, but even so, it's weird that the mercenary unit is the one that housed the general. Hello, your enemy's friend. Well, that's fine. It's a busy time of year, after all. Perhaps more so than is typical. Yeah, the Erebor infantry, I have to say, is a little bit. I mean, it's still decent. It's still able to outperform. That's not Erebor infantry. Still able to outperform units of a similar tier. Those are axe throwers. But I have to say, like, they don't seem to be like that dominant in fights. Like, they seem to be a little bit lackluster. Axe guard of Erebor looks better with the armor upgrade. Yeah, a little. I don't think it's massive. I don't think it's massively so. I quite like the base model of the axe guard of Erebor, to be honest. But yeah, like the full, like iron guard aesthetic that's going on here is slightly better than this over here. But I mean, this is hardly an ugly unit. Just make sure there's absolutely nothing left of them. Right, so 11 remaining from Zogdush, but that's not going to matter too much. 360 losses again. In a settlement like Mount Gundabad, I can't help but feel as though our axe throwers should be enough to give us a substantial advantage, and hopefully then we'll also not be having to move towards the enemy in the slow and plodding manner in which the dwarves are accustomed. Yeah, we will be executing then. The Lord of Gundabad is dead. Enemy camp sacked. And Gundabad sits empty. But not for long. We're going to be probably sitting in Gundabad for quite a while, to be honest. So I will just occupy it. Where are we? Here we are. So normal tax rate. We'll go for a low tax rate for the moment. Yeah, there's the Hall of Durin. Enables the training of the Hammers of Gundabad. Retraining cost reduced. Public order bonus. All of the very best stuff, really. Which means really we should definitely be paying for it. I mean, it's 15 turns. That's really the only barrier to entry with that. 15 turns is quite a long time, but 1,200 gold coins is not a lot. I think perhaps it would be somewhat beneficial. Seriously, they haven't got this yet? Well, it might be a good idea to start building that then, just so that we can actually build stuff at a slightly quicker rate. Hello, Mehran. So, the doomstack will be coming. Of that, there can be no doubt. We already... Actually, we didn't move you. Maybe if we could move that way to reinforce Gundabad? Well, we shall see. We can recruit a diplomat, which is quite nice, but we don't really need another diplomat. We've already done most of the diplomacy we want to do for the vast majority of the campaign, to the point where we're using one as a mobile watchtower. Trait increase. Gimli, Liberator of Gundabad. Troop morale, attacking walls, 1 acumen. Be nice if we had that defending walls. Relations improved with Lorien. End of turn report, don't really need to worry too much about that. So we will save it there. And I don't think there's really anything else that can be done for now. Unless there's any units we can create that aren't just excuse me, normal. We could build some of these. Some more Iron Hills Mattocks actually probably wouldn't be the worst idea, to be honest. I think they are slightly more impressive overall than the Erebor Infantry. Just because they're still tanky in melee. Right, we don't really need anything else over here. We're more than capable of holding on to things over here. Okay. Right. So now we will learn pretty quickly what's going to be happening with the Gundabad Doomstack. I imagine it's probably going to spawn somewhere around here, in between Berzakul and Gundabad, so we'll have our spy ready just for that. If you kill faction, all generals get Merc Swordsman as bodyguard. Well then. Gundabad is now ours, which means we technically have a border with Angmar, so they're probably going to start to just latently start to despise us. As long as they don't declare war on us immediately, as long as they give us time to clean up what remains of Gundabad, I'm not really too bothered about that. Defending Gundabad as well. Hopefully they decide to attack us there, just because I would quite like to see the battle map. I believe it's not dissimilar to the... there's their Doomstack, yeah, it's right there. The chieftain of the Dunlendings is dead, so Dunland are losing as well, which might actually have something to do with Rohan being victorious. We'll have to wait and see on that. Close scroll. The snow stirs, beaten again and again, the forces of Gundabad are at the end of all hope. However, in the frozen wastes of the north, there are snow orcs who would stand till the bitter end. All that can be mustered has been called to fight. Gundabad will not go down without one last mighty battle. Have you murdered Dale yet? Absolutely not, Lango. Disgusting suggestion. My brethren. Mount Gundabad overrun. The power and might of the Snow Orcs was not enough to maintain control over the great mountain of Gundabad. The walls lay in ruin, and the deep mansions below the earth have been utterly cleansed. The taint of the sons of Melkor will reside in this place for many years to come, but the inhabitants are no more. No, I'm not going to be striking up relations with Dol Guldur. I do wonder how Dol Guldur are doing. It might actually be worth our time to build a couple of spies just to see what's going on in the south, so I think we will do that. Get a spy there. And just pass through Dol Guldur, because I do want to keep Bombor over here, because it's kind of... it's thematic for him to just sort of be hanging out in Khazad-dûm with Balin's expedition and just seeing how things are going. Battle map looks like the Hobbit movie plus extra wall. Yeah, I think I know what you mean, Kobe. It's very similar in structure to the Black Gate in that you've got this very large, like, dark iron wall. And then you've got, like, you can actually... that structure in the background there, that Gundabad style thing. Right. Ooh. Black Shield Warband, so that's the sort of regular spears they get, not the Snow Orc trash that we've been seeing thus far. Snow Orc Scouts, Black Shield Warriors. They've got 3 units of Black Shield Archers. This is not a unit. This is not an army we want to be fighting on the open field, I don't think, at all. They've got a unit of half trolls as well, Orc Avengers. That's some scary stuff in there, but I mean, it's not utterly overwhelming, but it's not the sort of thing we want to be just facing head on in the field. Certainly not. Right, you start moving forwards. That's free upkeep on all of them, so you can remain in place. I think, yes, we can... well, actually, we've already got an armory over here, so we only need one more unit, really. And that is a full stack, technically. Right then. We've got some depleted units here, haven't we? Could be interesting, this. I mean, we may lose Gundabad again if that army is effective at what it does. You want to get working restoring Dane's Halls ASAP? Yes, but again, you have been here, Hrothgar, so you heard my thinking behind building the Stoneworkers Hall first. It takes 15 turns to build Dane's Halls, and there is no guarantee that we'll be able to hold on to Gundabad at the, you know, with that bearing down upon us. So I may not be like absolutely maximum efficient at playing this game, but I do kind of know what I'm doing. I don't need to be babied to the extent where I need to have every building told to me. I'm aware of it, don't worry. Bombur should have a movement penalty. How much culture do you have in Gundabad? It doesn't really matter, Xavier, because I'm going to be just parked in there with an army for a while. It's probably not amazing. Yeah, not much at all. 4%. We don't need to concern ourselves too much with that, though. Actually, that's a good point. We've got... buildings that we... Yeah, so a Brawler's Hall, we can get rid of that. Where else? That's actually fine, because it gives us food production. Erebor Axe Throwers, Camp Guard, Chieftain's Hall, the Ruined Hall of Awakening. Okay, so yeah, it was just that, actually, which is interesting. I don't think Gundabad would hold... The Black Shield units have good armour, so your archers would be next to useless. I mean, to be fair, under normal circumstances I'd be incredibly worried, but the Gundabad battle map is such that I think we stand a decent chance, because it's only one gate, and we have a lot of axe throwers. No, I'm not moving Gimli out, Brady. That's cowardice. We will fight and either be victorious or die. None of this retreat nonsense. That's not in character at all, anyway. There's no way that when the dwarves take Gundabad, they'd be like, maybe we should leave. No way. Maybe we die. Maybe Gimli gets killed, but that adds a bit of spice to the campaign. Maybe he will be victorious. Who can say? Right, one thing we will do, however, I will move Gimli out for something, but it's more just to see if there are any mercenaries available in this region, because if there are, that will be quite handy. So, is there anything we can combine? I guess we could combine all of the Erebor infantry together, and that will probably leave us... Yeah, there it is. Ah, we do. A unit of Dwarven Travellers. We'll take it. It's better than nothing. 126 extra dwarves for the defence. And archers as well, so that's more long range on the walls. Yeah, the axe throwers, like, as long as we can focus down stuff like... I mean, to be fair, the half trolls have got really poor armour, haven't they? Yeah, only 5. They've got 3 hit points, but there's not many of them, and with only 5 armour, that would be a good target to focus down. In addition to all of the lower tier units they've got here with our archers, and then our axe throwers can do the business against stuff like Bolg's Champions and Pale Uruks. So I think that should be good. Elsewhere. Okay, yeah, that's increasing nicely. Dane's Halls. We don't really need anything else in there. They could go after Dane's Halls, to be honest with you, which would probably be worse for us, because this army is not as strong. But we'll see. We can always cycle out and get another unit of Mattocks. We'll have to wait and see on that one, though. Right, nothing else to do except, before I forget, where is he? Where is our diplomat? There he is. Start heading down here. Ah, Dale. Greetings. And there's Grassguard. Dale seems to be doing just fine. Oh yes, also something else that I forgot. We have a spy in Erebor now, don't we? Don't we? Nope, we're still building him. Never mind then. Right, let's see what they do. Yeah, the Snowwalk units are not going to be too much of a problem because from a defensive position our archers can do a lot of damage to them, even though in melee they're not too bad. Not lost his first unique general in his first turn, Zarek here. The only unique general I've lost so far across my campaigns was Haldir. We were very lucky actually to not lose Gimmelzor though in the Aradanaim campaign. In the Tolfalas battles that he was in, one of them I was thinking would eventually claim his life. They're not going for Gundabad, okay. They're depositing some units in Berzakul. Okay, it's a little bit it's a little bit unfortunate I suppose that they're not going after us immediately. An Axesmith's Guild, I mean sure, we may as well build that. Osgiliath is under attack. Be interesting to see what they do. Maybe they don't fancy their chances against the full stack armies that we have. Okay, well, we will continue to follow him around with our spy just to keep tabs on him. Right then. So we'll get a unit of labourers out so that we can replace him with a unit of Mattocks. And everyone either failed you or was against you. Hey there, Mediocre. Nice to have you here. Right, before I forget, you there, you will go down here. So Mirkwood and Dale hold this region still, which is marvellous. Construction report in Danes Halls and Mount Gundabad. Right. 12 turns for that now, so yeah, it's definitely worth our time to actually build these. Probably could do with some culture going on as well, but maybe not just yet. Like, this is... Do we have an armory? We don't. That's very tempting, actually. But we won't actually get a garrison because we've got a full stack here anyway, so... Yeah, we'll go with that for the moment. And then we'll build the Hall of Durin. Danes Halls. A bigger garrison. Wouldn't be a terrible choice. Arcani Clan Hall would be quite nice as well because it'll give us more units that are useful that we can train. Yeah, Dragon Slayers are in this Dragon Slayers are in the region that we're in at the moment in Danes Halls, but we don't get them yet because we're still pre-barracks event. And you shouldn't get them yet either because they would be horrendously overpowered at this stage of the game. They're armor piercing as well. Crazy good unit that. Anyway. I mean, that stack is either going to arrive at Danes Halls or Mount Gundabad fairly quickly. So it doesn't really make a lot of sense to start building something that is for defense. We're making tons of money as it stands, so we don't necessarily need a mining complex over here. That wouldn't be such a bad thing. Give us a bit of income as well. Sure, we'll go with that. And I think, other than that, nothing else. Erebor was still building that mining complex there, which should give us a ton of extra cash. Right then. It's very, very slow trading them. Okay, unit of Erebor axe throwers is worth it actually. As many as we can muster. Okay. And that is, again, we're just sort of wait because we can't move out and go on the offensive while Gundabad have got that roaming around. It's just a matter of waiting and seeing what they actually do. Okay. If they come this way, we can always move this guy and the Dwarven Labourers as a reinforcement army. If they attack from this side as well, don't they have to march all the way around? We could win by timer if that's the case, which would be a little bit unsporting. But no matter. Okay. You should build healers posts where generals are. That's a good point, Kobe. It's just that I always tend to make that lower on the list of priorities. Probably the lowest thing, to be honest. It also helps prevent like plagues and stuff, doesn't it? But that only pops up late game for people. We will get around to it eventually, because eventually there won't be anything else to build. Hello, Calvin. Nice to have you back. What I want to do is get a... Ooh, where did they go? Have they hidden in the trees? Sequestered themselves away? Or have they split their doomstack up like fools? Oh no, they're going that way. Strange. Weird. Actually, that would be quite nice. If they go down this way, I could start to march on Berzakul as well, which would be quite enjoyable. Hopefully the Anduin are ready for that, because otherwise they're going to get... Well, there's no way the Anduin are going to beat that, actually, is there? So we may need to... Well, I mean, I suppose... We'll see. We'll see what transpires there. Hey there, Llama Boy. Kind of a surprise stream, Calvin. I mean, it was more down to the fact that I wouldn't be able to stream tomorrow or Wednesday. Definitely not. I should be able to stream Thursday, but it was either today or there would just be the one stream this week. And considering I already missed the entirety of last week, I didn't want that to happen. Right, another unit of Erebor infantry. Wait, hold on a minute. Steelmongers in Nazanar. What else can we build here? A straight up armourer. Slowly building up the capabilities of that. Orikani Clan Hall would probably be quite nice here, actually, seeing as this is... Nazanar is going to be much more of a recruitment based province for us. Which I guess means a ballista maker would also be quite nice. It's also cheaper. But we already have a ballista maker in Danes Hall, so we will go for another Orikani Clan Hall. Elsewhere, Erebor, one more turn until that's done. Get another unit of Erebor axe throwers because that's useful. One more turn until the large pig farm is done in Kirit Gathol. One more turn until that's finished. They could turn around and decide to try and siege Mount Gundabad now. Build your culture in Mount Gundabad. I am already building something in Mount Gundabad. Normally backseating doesn't really bother me, but when people incessantly say the same thing over and over again, it starts to grind on me. There is no point in building the culture at the moment in Mount Gundabad. We are pre-barracks events. The Hall of Durin will take at least 12 turns to build. Hammers of Gundabad are not going to be forthcoming in the very near future. Yes, Gundabad's been taken, Calvin. And the Gundabad doomstack doesn't seem to be too interested in trying to take it back, which is odd, but they could go after, was it Thramsberg or something along those lines from the Anduin? Hopefully I haven't doomed my Valesman friends to a horrid fate. Right, let's go through here. Okay, Erin Dolem. Looks like Mirkwood are making progress southwards. Sometimes Mirkwood can be pushed back up here, but looks like they're doing just fine for now. That is a full stack as well. Don't worry, Calvin, we won't have a shortage of enemies. We can either go for Goblin Town and declare war on Moria, or Angmar, or both. Or we could send an expeditionary force under Thorin Stonehelm's command to go after Rune. Okay. So yeah, again, we're just waiting and seeing how Gundabad decide to handle things. It would be a shame if we never got to see the Gundabad battle map. If the Gundabad Doomstack doesn't decide to attack. That fight is going as it normally does. Although the longer the fight goes on, the more you'd have to back the Khazad-dûm dwarves, because the quality discrepancy between the two factions starts to become extremely stark. Ooh, what are they doing? Khazad-dûm West is empty. You can take it back, boys. Ah, they are coming for us. Okay, I'm actually kind of glad of that.
We must stand with courage, men. The enemy lays siege.
Okay, good. I already have a spy over there, actually, Hrothgar. I should actually see that. Imladris is besieged. That never comes to anything. The Wood Elves flourish, so Thranduil's doing quite nicely. Enidwaith expands, so they're beating Dunland, I would assume. Right, construction report. Erebor and Kirit Cathol, so let's handle that first. So yes, there's this is actually still an independent town, which surprises me. Actually, you know what? Considering that is still an independent town, what is in there? Not a whole lot, if we're being blunt. Right, what would be the fastest way? Probably this way, wouldn't it? So yeah, we'll go this way. We'll take that for ourselves, I think. Right, so we have one free upkeep slot which we can utilise, so we'll get a unit of Erebor axe throwers. Kirit Cathol itself. This is intended to be more of an economy-based place, so we'll go for a grain exchange, why not? Very cheap, very quick to build. I know mining is technically better, but you don't want to have a surprise stack of rune troops at your doors. True, but I don't know. I mean, we haven't really seen. I think we would get the message that rune is doing well before we see them arrive in the Iron Hills. And we haven't seen either them or Dorwinion do anything at this stage. Right. Gimli's moment of reckoning approaches. If we can win that fight, then we can move forward with Dane and his army so that we can go after Berzakul. And what else was it that we... Erebor itself, yes, that's right. Don't want to miss a turn of building in Erebor. And Great Roads might be the way to go here. Gives us movement, gives us an economy boost, and there's nothing else here really that I would want at this stage. Yeah, Great Roads it is. Erebor making 5,471 coins per turn. Maybe it would be worth our while to get some labourers on the go as well, just so we can garrison up some settlements later with a little bit more ease. And that, I think, is going to be that. We have to move our spy through. Oh, there's a Dol Guldur army there. That's a Woodland Realm town as well. So really it is very much a north-south divide in the Mirkwood. Surely Gimli will become the next king of Erebor. I don't know, Siu. He may perish in this fight here. We'll have to wait and see. If we can, like, disrupt their ram from attacking the gate for as long as possible, that would be nice. Got this guy as well. Right, I don't think I want to move forward yet, just in case we do lose Gundabad again. It would be a setback, but it wouldn't be horrendous. Right, labourers, yeah, everything's good there. They've already moved. Keep an eye on them as well. This could open up a border with Rune, which may not actually be that wise, but it's a town, it's available, we're going for it. Hey there, the wacky mole. Nice to have you around. Right, hopefully they decide to attack us immediately. Oh yeah, I forgot about that guy again. Slowly on the way down to Dorwinion. One small step at a time. It is good that we've got Gimli in this settlement though. He'll be better in this situation, I think, than Dane, because while Dane is better at holding a line, the axes that Gimli's unit is capable of throwing, in addition to the big AP damage, is what we're going to need to help break up the tough Gundabad units. We'll see. Don't just siege us down, you cowards. Is this how we're doing things? That's disappointing. What are you doing? Why can't we get across? Okay, I guess we're going this way then. We shall go around. Right, so war declared between Isengard and Enedwythe. So Enedwythe will probably start getting driven back now. Witherboard and Danes Halls. You there. What have we? We could build a few things, I suppose, but we'll go with that. It's so cheap, it's so quick to build. Danes Halls. We could build, could go for a mining complex, I suppose. We'll go with that. Hopefully we don't take horrendous losses as they continue to siege us down, because that would really do us in. That would be incredibly annoying as well. The AI should just attack us, but they have what they would see as an advantage, so if they just sit there and siege us forever, that would be extremely disappointing. Go for another unit of Mattocks. And ah, yes. Keep going through here. So Dol Guldur have still got their thing there. They haven't taken this part of the Anduin Vale though, which is nice. We'll pass through Dol Guldur just to see what's going on there. And I think that's just about it. I think that's all we're going to be able to get away with. I guess these labourers can move forward. We're not getting any upkeep with them anyway. Maybe you overlooked the Rune Prosper message? No, Hrothgar. I'm not that blind. They should attack. Okay. Right, this should, if they don't attack us this turn, it's a sign that they're just going to sit there and happily try and besiege us into submission, which would be annoying. Very annoying. I want to see the Gundabad battle map. It's no fun to just siege. How's your lab stuff coming on? Going quite well, actually, Calvin. That's the reason why I didn't stream last week. It's been... there we go. Okay, so the balance of power is against us. We already know what's in that army. So, let us see what transpires. What exactly have you been doing in this video? We have been fighting Gundabad. We took Gundabad and now we must attempt to hold on to it. But yeah, the lab stuff is coming along quite nicely. Thank you for asking. I should be done with it actually by next week, so yes, here we go. Right. I think as well, unless I'm very much mistaken, these are actually ballista towers, which that will be of great help. Right. The cavalry, what we're going to do is we're just going to effectively throw the cavalry under the bus, because it will be able to disrupt the thing. Right, okay, so first things first, we will get axe throwers. Ugh, Christ's sake, this is one of those annoying walls, isn't it? Can't even. The snow is so bright as well that you can't even see. Right, okay, they can go there like that. Archers. They can actually just open up, to be honest. You can go there. Erebor axe throwers as well. They can sit up here, and there we go. That's a little bit better. Dwarven travellers. They too can just open up. The axe guard of Erebor, including Gimli, we'll have down here, because as soon as they come through the gate, we're going to want to pepper them up quickly with, or at least the right kind of units we're going to want to shoot up pretty quickly. Right, and now spears, you can be the linchpin in the middle, and then the Erebor infantry we need in one group so that I can actually see what I'm doing with them. Are we missing any? Oh, that's good. So, right. Those two like that. Those two get ready to move in on this side as well. Then we have our mattocks. It is going to be interesting, this. Yep, they're there like that. So mattocks, mattocks. The armor piercing of the mattocks is going to be actually incredibly important. They're going to be back here. And then we have the ballista, which is probably not that useful. That's quite the sight, isn't it? The gates of Gundabad. I have a test in 3 hours. Can't get myself to study. I mean, you probably should study if I'm being honest. But I mean, being relaxed is a very important thing when it comes, which is easier said than done as well, but being relaxed is important. Right, I suppose what we shall do is, just in case, we'll put our ballista over here. And if a gap starts to open up as they try to inevitably force their way through, we'll shoot into the side with the ballistae. Right, the axe throwers off fire at will, because I want them to be fighting against, or firing against. Right. You go out there. No, this isn't the time for weird pathfinding nonsense. We're already under the cosh as it is. Baruch Khazad. Oh wait, no. We don't want you to move. You can be a reserve. Mattocks. Mattocks. Yeah. I think in version 5 we made red unit signs which are better to see in snow. Yeah, that would be the red little dots would be or just red in general would be a better choice, because even on like bright like green grassy maps that can be a bit of a potential problem. Right, Snowwalk Scouts. Yeah, you go after them. And Dwarven Travellers. Ooh, half trolls. Yeah, go after the half trolls. If we can as well, actually, yeah, you just shoot after them. What's going on in behind? Yeah, get into them. Right, for a moment, actually, we'll. Hopefully, that won't prove to be too much of a problem. There we go. Yes. Get out of there. Just need to. Right, and then you, and you. Wow, they're getting rinsed. Must be from the Black Shield archers. Just get the ballista far away. There's no point, Hrothgar. Like there really is no point. There's no way we're going to be able to get a decent shot when we're trying to hold the gate like this. I mean, you're quite correct, but like, I mean, I could put it here, but other than that, like we risk massively hitting our own troops, and if that happens, it's all over. We're dead. We're done for. So I'll only really utilise it if we're in massive, massive trouble. they actually are not mounted on the ram now, are they? Good. Oh, for crying out loud. There we are. Thank God for that. Like so. Iron Hills Mattocks. Getting ready to move in as well, and you can sit there as well. Right then. Where are the half trolls? Maybe it's a good idea to get the Daily and cavalry away actually, because they are getting shot pretty bad. Black Shield Warriors. They're mountain guard in there. There are the Bolg's champions. Okay, yeah. Is anyone mounting the ram again? Not at the moment. I'm all too happy about that. If we can expend all of our archer ammunition without too much fuss, that would be very, very nice. Yeah, I didn't seem to like me hitting its... Yes, so we do have ballista towers. That's excellent. They have trolls. Yes, they do. They have snow trolls. Are they going back for another fresh ram, or are they just gonna... What are they actually doing here? What's the plan, boys? There's the mountain guard. Where are the half trolls? Okay, so we can actually probably get away with just letting the... That's mountain guard, black shield archers. Okay, so yeah, they're coming back with them now. We'll see if we can get around to the other side and use... If you had a catapult, it would be better. I haven't been able to build a catapult maker yet. There we go. Actually, are they even mounting the ram? I don't think they are they? Well, irregardless of that... Oh no, there's another ram coming forward now with the Orc Avengers. Okay. Yeah, shoot at them. This is going pretty decently so far, actually, just because they haven't been able to break down the gates. The longer we can keep that the case, the better it shall be for us. There's a lot of deaths already that they have suffered. Right, this is going to be tricky. This is going to be the death of our Dale cavalry at this point. Yeah, we're not going to be able to get in there. Their archers are just too good. The Black Shield archers are too strong. Right, just go for it. Charge in. See if you can disrupt the ram. Your last brave acts, Men of Dale. They should be able to do it, actually. And actually, with that as well, we can use our axe throwers on the Orc Avengers. Very worthwhile target as well. Have to leave. See you, knight. Yeah, there goes our... Are they going to go back and get another fresh ram? Is that what's going to go on here? They're just going to believe that this one is lost. And it cannot be helped. Throwing axes. Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, they are going to go backwards once again. How utterly bizarre. Okay. What are you doing? No, I want you on the wall. There we go. good. Yep, they're going to go back and get another ram. You could retreat a bit and let them come in. No, if letting them swamp over me when they've got trolls and wargs is a terrible idea. Also, when this is working as well as it is, I'd be mad not to continue to do it. Yeah, AI is at its finest. Quite so. Right, well actually now we can get the Northman archers off the walls, and there is sort of a final desperate line should they be required. Actually as well, this is the Dwarven Travellers can get down here as well, and we can get our generals up on the walls. What are you doing? Run. Now is not the time for shenanigans like this. Get our Axe Guard on the walls. You should be running as well. Your mercenaries, actually. Neat that we get the Dwarven Travellers. Are they going to mount up on this ram now? You should not be... Gently does it. There we go. Yeah, they're probably going to mount up on this. Probably going to use the raiders, which is a little bit of a shame. There we go. The ballistas have probably been racking up a nice kill count. 21%. The only 2% we've lost are from our cavalry. What is this? Dwarven labourers? What are they doing up here? What are they doing up here actually? You get down. Every dwarf is going to count in the melee fight. Ah, good. Here we go. So this ram is now coming forward, being pushed by... Oh, Pale Uruks. That is actually another worthwhile target. Not quite in... There's a Black Shield warband though, those are only spears anyway. Throwing axes. The ram's actually blocking a few of those. Okay, so they're now out of ammo. But can you... blobbing up at the gates again? And... sod it, just fire your axes in. At this point we just need some damage done. Are you actually throwing your axes into anything useful, or are you wasting them in the terrain? Can you hit them? Can you hit anything up here? Or are you just going to continue to be useless? Okay, you're going to continue to be useless. Marvellous. Good choice, lads. Love it. Love everything about it.
To arms, my lord. The enemy's ram has breached the gates.
Imagine if you had a unit of crossbows right now. Well, quite. But we don't... Such things are not for us. Right. Again, now is not the time for you to be blobbing up there, boys.
The enemy have the walls. Look to our defence or all is lost.
Right. Let's see if the legendary stoutness of the dwarves is actually true. Because we should be very good at not being mass pushed out the way, but we'll have to wait and see on that. And still got our travellers back there. Right, hold on a second. Some people try to make AI for medieval. Yeah, it's difficult. I know. Like it's such an old game that it's hard. Like there's some fundamental stuff in medieval too which just can't be changed, and that the problem there where you're on the walls and your units are not quite doing the right thing is one of them. Okay, let's just get a little closer with the ballista. I think that's as good as we're going to manage, and that can be like the panic button that we hit potentially. They can go there. The other axe throwers are already in melee. A lot of this army may very well end up perishing. Ooh, they're actually getting up here. Remarkable. Then we shall engage. I actually don't mind that too much because it means that they are not going to be on the ground facing us here. You're really going to throw your axes one at a time? That's infuriating. Right, you get in there. Okay, this could be a terrible idea, but we're going to start firing in.
Something changes in the course of battle, but defeat seems almost certain.
We're going to have to get them down onto the ground. Right, this could be a horrid idea, truly, but we're going to have to try and use the ballista, I think. Oh, we're not even using flaming shot. Amateur hour or what? Erebor infantry. Yeah, we're just going to have to get in here and do the business. I really hate that the AI does this. Like, it's just a brain dead charge forward, and because they're orcs, like, it works. That may very well end up having a pretty big impact, though. We can tag their general in there. There are the Bolg's champions. What's going on up here? Even fight? That makes sense, actually. The Pale Uruks are a very strong unit, but the AP should be enough to even the odds somewhat there. We'll get you in there as well. There we go. Very good shots. That Erebor infantry is taking a real licking there. Okay, the trolls should burn out at some stage.
The enemy are badly blooded. They have lost half their men.
Victory is almost certain. As long as they're not down here. The fight isn't going to be decided. It's not going to be won or lost up there anyway. The mountain guard are over there fighting Gimli, actually. Right, come on, the trolls should be falling now. Yeah, they're starting to fall away. If we have to rely on the Northman archers in melee, Creative Assembly never made good AI. It's a good point, Val, yeah. But it's just... Oh. Okay, yeah, so the ballista towers are still doing their thing as well. Victory is still a certainty for them. Too many of our units are just basic stuff, I suppose. Right, come on, these trolls really need to be dead. We just need to charge in, I suppose. There we go. More of that is required. Right, okay, so they are now... The trolls are finally dead. Actually, you can stay here and you can just dive on in. Right, what's that? So that's Black Shield Warriors, Erebor Axe Throwers, not doing so well against them. The only thing we really have, though, is to send you in there. The Axe Guard will be on top in the long run. Yeah, you got a good point there, actually. Normally... Ooh. They're really just trying to push through now, which should be to their detriment in the long run. You'd hope. But I'm not sure. I don't know if we have the quality here. That may end up being the difference maker. Can we actually shoot anything? Ugh. Without the assistance of the ballista, this could get pretty grim. And what's going on up here now? Oh yeah, much better. Could we do the same here with our boy Gimli? No, it's not a good idea, is it? Okay. They're starting a rout? No, just some Snow Orc scouts heading up there. Right. Northmen are better than Snaga. That's true. Victory is a distinct possibility. Can we hit them? Just go after those Black Shield archers back there. It's a question of quality at this point, isn't it? Not many Bolg's champions left there. Another Orc Avengers are up there. That doesn't bode well for those Axe Guard at all. Ah, good. Those are good shots. Raking through those Black Shields. I can't quite hit them, can we? These Stonefoots are doing a good job at holding the line. Hey there, Senation. When Gundabad General dies, I don't know where their general actually is, though. I think he's over here somewhere. That was where the Mountain Guard were. Bolg's champions. Only 14 of them remain. Yeah, that's a problem. Are they up here on the walls? And the Orc Avengers are. Black Shield Warriors. Maybe it would be a good idea to get our ballista over there. We're still ahead, but not by enough. Right, what on earth are you doing, Gimli? Turn around and fight the enemy properly. It's because of bloody guard mode, isn't it? It should be carving through the Black Shield archers at least. Right, there's Mountain Guard. Are they in there then? All of the Gundabad units do have a tendency to blur together a little bit. There's some Mountain Guardsmen in there. I can see their big two-handed cleavers. 23 of them remain. Okay, so yeah, what we definitely want to be doing is getting you over there like so. It's risky to try and rake all the way up there, but I think we have to do it at this point. There's not many Bolg's champions left though, because they pushed in, so there's only 13 of them that remain. Dwarven Travellers. Our Axe Guard are still fighting hard up here. I'm glad the Orc Avengers are up there actually, and not... Right, if we can... Yeah, we can actually shoot along here fairly comfortably now because there's none of our own men actually really left in the way. We just need to get them into place fairly quickly. Not many mattocks remain. Okay, yeah, shoot. Can we target the mountain guard specifically? I think they're probably a little bit stretched at this point, if I had to guess. Targeting that big unit of black shields is probably the way to go anyway. That's a real shame, that is. That might be game, set and match actually. Yeah. Especially seeing as these Axe Guard don't really seem to be doing much damage all that quickly. Right, get out of guard mode and just rip them to shreds in melee if you please. That's a real shame. That could be the difference between victory and defeat there. I am glad they're getting rid of the barracks event stuff as well, because the reason why this is so hard is because we're just not able to train our good units, and they get a stack mostly made up of their post-barracks event units, which really disincentivizes early aggression. So I'm glad that they're changing that in version 5. Because it was not something that was necessary, really. Right, Gimli is beast moding his way through there, though. There is Gimli, covered in blood. The Orc Avengers are going to absolutely destroy the ballista crew, and there's nothing really we can do about that. Right, we will have... How are they winning against Axe Guard of Erebor? Come on, boys. You've got to be better than this. They're a basic unit of orcs by your standards. You should be mopping them up, especially with ballista support. Alright, the fact that Gimli's unit is so strong is going to have to be our saving grace here. Right, you get out of that. Get out of that. Just all of you. Unit of axe throwers, warband. Black Shield Warriors slowly dying off. 33 Orc Avengers, that isn't a great prospect either. 3 Pale Uruks. Where are the Mountain Guard then? There's 10 Mountain Guard remaining. I haven't seen their general yet, like at all. He should have the standard model. So we're looking for like a tall dude without a helmet on, dressed in like the pale Uruk armor elsewise. Right, that's not great. I wish I held your optimism. I mean, I suppose if we can get these guys down off the wall, if they actually do their job and kill things quickly, we should be able to utilise our throwing axes to pretty good effect. Right, you, yeah, get in there, stop them from shooting at us. Yeah, I think Gimli is really quite strong, which might end up being the ultimate difference maker. Come on, lads, kill them off quickly, and then we can get you down, throwing some projectiles. There we go. More deaths. Should just be the one left. Kill him. Swinging a hit. Come on, don't get parried. Come on, I believe. Stop missing. There we go. Good. Now get down. Keep going after them, if you please. Black Shield Warriors. Where are the Mountain Guard? They really are interspersed throughout the line quite a bit. Here come the Orc Avengers. They should be coming down momentarily. Gimli still have an ammo? Yeah, but I can't afford to take them out of melee, Davey, otherwise everything falls apart instantaneously because they've got such strong units on the front. This, however, could be marvellous because we still have a little bit of ammo in these boys. God, I wish the dwarves weren't this slow. It's actually... it's a little bit painful. This is them running, apparently. I remind you. Right, Orc Avengers. Throw your projectiles in and then we need you in melee doing your business. How are you in melee? Oh no, you're not. Good. Come on, get your axes out. Why are you doing this? Why are you so slow? Change your weapons. Throw your axes, for feck's sake. They're losing as well. Gimli's about to get surrounded, so you really need to be throwing these axes quickly. That's good. That's good damage. Right, now get into melee. 32 extra axe guard. Where's their general? I still haven't seen their general. God, this still's on a knife's edge. There he is. Right, he's in and amongst Axeguard at this point, so he should be taking some pretty hefty damage. Where's Gimli at? There he is. He's up against an Orc Avenger, but he's got help, so he's not likely to be killed off that quickly. My. We'll need to send some reinforcements, yes, Hrothgar, but at the very least, I mean, even if we do, and even if Gimli does in the long run end up perishing, if we can win this fight, Gundabad, like they're ultimately finished. Definitely on the backs of the Axeguard of Erebor that we won that one. The Battle of Azanulbazar's got nothing on this one. Where is... yeah. I mean, he's triple gold chevrons and fully upgraded armour for the Axeguard of Erebor as well, so he is a... it is a monstrous unit. Gimli himself is looking fairly good at this stage. Look at this guy. Surrounded by stout dwarves. An example of the general's relentless trait there, because he got cleaved by the axes but powered through the attack. Hyper armour. 2 mountain guard, a few black shield archers, a few snow orc scouts. It's interesting that snow orcs are still here. Hey there, Bogdan. Damn, that was incredibly close. That's probably the most... that could be the most enjoyable battle so far thematically that we've done in one of these campaigns, to be honest. Where's Gimli out? There he is. Yeah, he's reasonably safe. A few dwarven travellers. 1 snow orc scout. So it's just the general remaining. I don't know what he's trying to do. I think he's trying to walk through to maybe try and cap the town centre. There he goes. Whew. Okay. So we've got some heals, but not that many, I don't think. Casualties healed. Well, I mean, I suppose a lot of the infantry units got completely wiped out. But you can't complain too much. Like, that could have been a loss there. 300 kills from Gimli. Doing the business. 629 on the ballista. Damn, son. That's how we do things in Ered Mithrin. The Mountain Guard are a nasty unit. Bolg's champions, I think what kind of helped us as well was the fact that they decided to try and push through with the Bolg's champions. That didn't work out too well because it takes away from their main strength. And there we go. Right, that's another full stack essentially. Oh, for crying out loud. Leave me alone. Leave me be. Alright, we need to sally out with Dane, I guess. Right, settlement besieged, Gundabad, mission failed, I couldn't care less about relations with Dol Guldur, construction report, Kirit Gathol and Onazanar. Kirit Gathol. Right, more economy. We'll build one of them because it will be useful. Onazanar. Probably an armourer would not go amiss here. Gives us a bit of extra coin as well. And we can build more of you. Right, we need to sally forth with Dane. What is this? This is probably their king, isn't it? It's not a fantastic army though. Neither's ours, if we're being completely honest. What is this? Marauder Chief Hazolg the Bloody. What's the damage actually to our army? It's been better. It's definitely been better. They're going to just keep moving forward to Gundabad as well, aren't they? The AI is going to have tunnel vision at this point. Siege birds are cool while they have few units. I'm not doing that either, Davey. If I leave Gimli on his own, he's going to get swamped. I have to say, some of the backseat advice in this part has been shocking. Absolutely awful. Right, we're going forward with everything we have. You, get in there. Another ballista, some more labourers. You get over there as well. Right, what they do with this army here is going to be pretty vital at this point. If they go after Gundabad, they'll retake it. Like, there's nothing we can do. Unless we sally out, kill this army, and then retreat effectively. Which I'm actually not against doing at this point. Then again, there's no guarantee we'd even beat that army up. Well, I guess there is. We've got enough infantry. Also, somehow, the Dalian cavalry managed to come back. Basically, what the Gundabad orcs are is slightly better armour than typical orcs with much better skill and morale. You do not have a single catapult at all. Again, it's early on in the campaign. What do you expect? I don't understand what people want from me in this part. Like, it doesn't quite compute. I have not been able to build a catapult maker yet. That is why I do not have a catapult, funnily enough. Make some armour upgrades for the units. I've been building armories in so many places, Hrothgar. Again, like, people seem to want me to do everything all at once. That's not how the game works. It's a bizarre mindset to have. I will do as I please. Yeah, we're going to go out and we're going to face them down in the field. And then I think we're going to have to leave Gundabad and go back for it later. Yeah, I'll just magic up a full stack of hammers of Gundabad. How about that? Console commands, here we come. Right. Okay. So Hazolg, I think he's the Orc Avenger general, is he not? No, he's the Archer general. Interesting. We could try and... well, they're probably going to retreat, aren't they? So there's no need to be too precious about this, to be honest. All we need to do is batter our way through here anyway, and then we're running for the hills. So we've extinguished their doomstack at this point, which is the important thing ultimately. Erebor infantry, axe throwers, you can go back there. Stonefoot spears, you can go over here as well. Right, Dale Cav. Right. Well, they're going to retreat, aren't they? They're going to go to the back of the map. So let's get you out like so. You out on that flank. You probably not going to be all that useful, to be fair. Very flat, very open. I thought they didn't have any ranged units, but yes, that's right, isn't it? This is their unique general that has the Black Shield archers. Yeah, I'm surprised the Cav is alive. They're the ones that perished first. They performed a vital role, though, stopping the ram from getting forward quickly, allowing us to use our archers quite nicely. Right. So those Black Shield archers are going to be the main concern here, because I'm pretty sure our 2 units of Axe Guard could demolish the Snow Orcs on their own. Everything else we've got is just a nice bit of support. The fact that we've got cavalry means we can try and shut down the Black Shield archers as well. Go over there like so. Usually when they get to the back end of the map, they then turn back around. Oh, actually, the archers are on that side. And you two. Skirmish mode is next to pointless for you at the moment. I mean, I think we win if it comes down to just a pure melee fight. It's just a case of the cavalry needs to stop the Black Shields from shooting. I don't even care if we take massive losses here. The only thing we need to do is retreat. We'll go via the Yulstone path, allow Gundabad to retake their capital, but without the threat of a doomstack, it's not a problem anymore. Cavalry just needs to stop the Black Shields from firing. This is also a situation where we're at our weakest, in some respects as well, because we're so painfully slow that covering the ground is a problem for the poor dwarves. And again, the armour makes up for that somewhat, but the Black Shield archers are good. There like that. You two can just sort of, I mean, we will get them into a position where they can fire, but the amount of damage they actually do in this fight is not going to be that decisive a factor at all. Right. Put you there like that. Even when we're on time 6 speed, the walking speed of the dwarves is so slow. And then Dane's second wave. I mean, I suppose we could try and take Berza Cool with Dane. Go back to Rakyaberg with Gimli so he can just rest up for a little while. Right. Okay. So you will run over here. You move there. And then as soon as they're in line with them, I'll start moving them forward. I don't want my generals to be the first ones getting shot. I'd rather the regular rank and file suffers that. Okay, yeah. It does seem like more effort has been put into Gundabad overall, just in general. Someone's given them some love, because they've got a very distinctive set of... What are they doing? There we are. Ooh, their general's right there as well. There he goes. Marvellous. The downside of having your general in a unit of archers... Marvellous. He suffered Haldea's fate, where a unit of very average cavalry ended up being the difference between victory and defeat for him. Charge in there again. Even basic cavalry in Med 2 has got its place. I suppose the damage is what's scary about the black shields and not the actual abilities of the unit itself. Finish off the archers, and then we're going to take losses on the front line, but that was always going to be the case, just because of how depleted our units are. There we go. Ooh, the spears are going to try and turn around. Oh no, they're actually routing. Marvellous. Hunt them down. You, get over here. Throwing axes still doing their thing. Chipping away at them. Go after them. Well, that was less stressful than the last battle. We'll have to bid goodbye to Gundabad in the distance there, but only temporarily. Dane will be back to retake it properly. Good. Let's see if we can't kill them off in their entirety. Rohan peasant scouts. I guess there is a limit to useful cavalry, because their stats are so low that they are actually pretty bad. But Dale cavalry is perfectly adequate for our uses. I think it was... No, we want to kill them off as much as we can. Make sure there's nothing left. Like I said last time, the dwarven anvil is so strong that the hammer doesn't necessarily need to be quite as devastating. And I don't think there's much else. Snow orcs. It's got some chevrons on this Dalian cavalry now. 3 gold chevrons. They deserved it after their performance last time. And yeah, I guess go and deal with them. Just inspecting the troops. Very much a ragtag bunch at this point. A lot of them are going to require a bit of retraining, especially this unit of Axe Guard of Erebor. Okay. Day of our most glorious victory. So that's 2 of the initial Gundabad generals killed. They do have one that's an Orc Avenger. I think they do, Wacky, don't... Oh no, they're Horse Archers. The 8th Wodia are Horse Archers in Dak, aren't they? So no, I guess they don't have any beefy Lancers. Because I know the Earls are obviously Sword Cavalry. If you have a unit in Gundabad, the Orc army will have to wait a turn to attack. Right, that's a good point. We could leave a few behind. Right. So... yeah, I guess that's what we do then. We leave behind some brave souls. Some volunteers, if you will. Right, hold on. What's that in there? Not much of anything. I do want to be a little bit careful. Maybe we want to go this way and take that fort. Okay, hold on a second. Let me just save. Where did our spy go? He was up here, wasn't he? No, there he is. Okay, good. Okay, yeah, so that's an empty fort. The Tash is right there, so right, we will go over here. And we're just going to get across as many of these boys as we can. We'll leave behind the 1 Northman archer and the 3 dwarven labourers, the volunteers to stay behind. And yeah, I guess they will have to siege. I don't think Dane is going to be able to get there in a turn anyway, but we'll see. Maybe he will. Yeah, that's what I thought. The 8th Wodia were made, because I know in Vanilla 3rd Age I remember them. They were a lance unit. They're a cool looking unit, the 8th Wodia. Ah yes, these guys. I'd almost completely forgotten about them in the madness. And Kirit Gathol is fully stocked. Don't think we need anything else. Well, I guess wouldn't hurt to have some more Orakani so we can send them forwards the front. Furor is here. Is there anything else we can build? I don't think so. Kind of lose track when there's these big turns like this. Mount Gundabad is there. Didn't actually see if Mount Gundabad had a garrison building. Did it? Don't think it did. No, it didn't. Okay. Fair enough. Well done on successful defence. You should build catapults. Thank you, Calvin. That's very kind. We will be building catapults, of course, because when we can actually build some catapults, that will take away from the mobility problem somewhat, because of the special ammunition that dwarves get to utilise. Right. Oh yes. You there. Keep going down this way. Hopefully we don't arrive in Karasant and find it flying runes banners. Right then. Let's see what Gundabad do. They will probably try and retake Gundabad, I would imagine. Be shocked if they didn't. Oh yeah, him as well. So much going on. Lots of individual roving packs of Mirkwood orcs. Khazad-dûm and the Misty Mountains continuing to go hammer and tongs at one another. Hey there, Matt. I'm doing just fine, thank you. How about you? Oh, for crying out loud, why... What was the point of that then? You fools. They never even... Gundabad was wide open for them to retake. You can cheer me about 20 to 30 UTC. What are you talking about? The Council Master of Bree is dead. Ah yes. Well, Bree... I mean, this is weird then. So Bree's leader has died, Dunland's leader has died. I guess Isengard getting a bit more involved is affecting that with the board. is here. So what can we build? What can we build that is useful here? We've already built the growth stuff to the best of our ability. I mean, this is a town, so we should be going for more economy building, so I guess a grain exchange makes a certain level of sense. Oh yes, that one. I know what you're talking about now. Right. Okay, so this is actually pretty good for us, so we can go in there. Right, so I don't think they'll be able to get away. I mean, they know now that we are right there, ready and waiting for them. I suppose they could try and surround us, but I don't know if they have... There are no mercenaries currently available in this region. I wonder if there are mercenaries available in the Angmar region. If there are, I might grab some with Gimli. Money is, after all, not an issue for us whatsoever. Nope, no mercenaries available. Don't really care about my relations with Angmar in the long run anyway. Recruitment report. Ah, yes. You all. Not a very developed part of the world, this, is it? We shall continue forwards. We'll keep you there for the time being, and... Ah yes, Erebor, can we build any more units back here? We can. And these two will always be welcome in my army. Basic cavalry and archers to go with our infantry. Right, how can we get over here? There we go. Right. Should be getting into Dorwinian territory soon. A surprisingly long way away. Dwarves don't struggle with coin, eh? No, they most certainly don't. It's because their starting settlements are so good as money makers. If we were to lose Erebor, our economy would collapse pretty quickly, but yes, money is not a problem. Right, okay. And yes, I knew we were forgetting something else. You pass via Dol Guldur. Dol Guldur looking... There's a Dorwinian diplomat there. Dol Guldur itself is reasonably fortified, but not to a ridiculous extent. If you get some normal generals using to make watchtowers, yeah, we've watchtowered this area up pretty good, the Ered Mithrin, but over here we haven't because Thorin's just been sat making money in Kirit Gathol. But yeah, we will. This army should be enough to take that settlement, to be fair. Even if we just siege it down, siege it into submission, we should be good. Okay. Save. It might actually be worth putting Gimli back into Mount Gundabad at this point, because they will need to siege it down. So we'll keep... I'll save it. So they're strong. We'll leave a few units behind for free upkeep purposes. Guess you can go this way as well. And one more unit. Oh yeah, axe thrower is definitely you. Bit of free upkeep going on in the fort. Not that we really need to be penny pinching like that, but you never know. Right then. Perhaps that captain in the east could become a man of the hour. He could, yeah, Xavier. That's kind of what I'm hoping for. That's why I didn't send Thorin up with them, just to make sure of things. Right, let's see what Gundabad do with that little stack. I love the amount of factions in Reforged. I mean, there are just as many, if not more, in DAC as well, I think. There are 26 in DAC, which I think is the maximum. And Reforged will also reach that, I think, once they've added in what they want to. Ah, they have vacated the area. They've gone down to Yalstone. Right. Okay, with that in mind, Lorien under attack. Take... Oh, we were already heading over there anyway, that's fine. Construction complete in Mount Gundabad, a master stoneworker's hall. So I feel fairly confident at this point that we're going to hold on to this place. So Hall of Durin, it will be. That is a force that we should probably be dealing with. And this is free upkeep, but I do kind of feel as though all hands should be on deck in case they sort of slither their way through with an army. So we will bring them back over here. Like I said, we don't really, money is not really that important to us. We can tank through the costs pretty easily. Erebor infantry and some more labourers. Got a ton of labourers out on the field at this point. And this place. Yeah, they should start moving this way, definitely. Right, before we decide to do what with Dane, before we decide what to do with Dane, I should say, we will begin a siege. Okay, and we'll go for. Just go for that. We'll just maintain the siege because it's an independent fort. We know that no one's going to be coming to their aid anyway. So I think there's another town over here somewhere, isn't there? So we'll go this way. That's a Dalian army. That's also a Dalian border. So Dale decided not to bother with this territory here, but took this one. So I mean, this is basically a free town essentially for us potentially. That's true. That is true, Val. It's a fair point. To get things like the devil's in the details, and Divide and Conquer has had a lot of time to get the details good. A ring. At least in this regard. Relations worsened with the Goblins of Moria, good. Rohan is at war with Dol Guldur. New family member, Duri. End of turn report. Mordor is the overall leader. Gondor is still putting up a fight, which is nice. That'll be the that'll be something by which the camp. I think we probably will end up fighting Mordor at this rate in this campaign. How about an alliance? It's a balanced proposition. Give you map information as well. How about that?
This seems quite reasonable.
Good.
Well, that seemed fruitful. Farewell.
Marvellous. Relations improved with Dorwinion. Perfect relations, in fact. So that means, look at all those allies. Both dwarven factions, Dale, Dorwinion, the Anduin Vale and Mirkwood. Hey there, Nani United. Is that no, Nami. Altered, Japan won. Right, so we're sieging this. Right, that army there is not going to be enough, I don't think, to take Dane's Halls. No, it's not. Even with Mountain Guard as a general, Dane's Halls has got a garrison as well as a decent enough force to deal with it. So, I wasn't meant to do that, but never mind. One lost turn isn't going to be the end of the world. It gives Gundabad a chance to decide what they're going to do anyway. Has Ered Luin decided yet? Yeah, they have, Kobe, and they rejected Sauron's offer. So we shan't be having dwarf on dwarf violence this time around, which is a little bit of a shame, but when we play as Ered Luin eventually at some stage in the future, there will be, because if I were to play Ered Luin I would pick the evil route. They're scattering into the north. They're retreating back to Forodwaith from whence they came. Karandros under attack. Right. Follow them. Where did they go? Nothing?
I came
How curious.
by your will, sire. We shall engage.
Okay, that is going to be a pretty hefty victory, you would assume. They've got no archers. Yeah, so this is one of those rare occasions actually where we should be able to get a completely domineering victory, so we will fight it. Very little in the way of casualties should be had. I think Hammers of Gundabad require 85% culture. I mean, the Hall of Durin is worth building anyway because it helps with pretty much everything. It gives you more money, it gives you less recruitment costs, upkeep, all of that stuff. It's not the end of the world if we don't rush into getting Hammers of Gundabad anyway. Like they are quite literally, I think, like the best unit we can build. So I'm fine with not having them dead on turn like 60 whenever the barracks event deigns to happen. We've got a ton of archers actually in this army. Most curious for a dwarven force. Right, we're going to go this way up the mountain. We even missed out an archer as well. Look at that. 6 archers. Crazy. Got a fresh unit of cavalry, fresh army in general. We don't have anything as individually potent on the attack though as the Axe Guard that Gimli and his friends utilise. And the rest is all infantry. Right then. And you there. You can just move there, and I guess you can go right up to the top of the hill. Is 0 over 0, 0%, 100% or infinite? I've no idea. Right, there's no need to be overly worrisome about this. They're once again relegated to building orc fighters. Snow orc spears. I think the snow orc raiders are the most dangerous unit they have. Well, I guess no, the orc hunters are the most dangerous unit they have because they are ultimately a javelin unit. Okay, you stop actually. They're going to get the top of the hill. But we're going to be able to prize them off of it very easily. And next stop, Berzakul. Dane can handle that. Maybe we should take Yulestone first, if only because we don't want an army going after Gimli's tattered force. Charge the cav on one unit and they will attack you. Yeah, but I don't really need to do that, Davey. They have no archers. It would be more efficient to try and keep my cavalry alive to the best of my abilities and let them just wander into the firing squad. Orc fighters and orc hunters are absolutely shocking under arrow fire as well. They don't need any culture. God, dwarves are so slow when they're walking. To be fair though, without that stoutness, we probably wouldn't have been able to win that Gundabad siege. Might be the pivotal moment of the campaign there, because we should be able to snowball from here, really. Gundabad's last hurrah. I suppose actually we'll get Dane in and amongst this group of infantry as well. Right, like so. And archers. They need no culture. I mean, that would be fantastic. I mean, the Axe Guard of Erebor needed... Well, to be fair, the Axe Guard of Erebor might need Dwarven culture, but they... because it's Erebor, the culture is obviously going to be already very much in our favour. I guess actually you can go around this way. What are you doing? Get forward. Every archer needs to be on deck to shoot into the orcs as quickly as possible. And yes, the axe throwers can actually look after themselves in melee as well. They're not that much worse than the standard Erebor infantry in that regard. Right, okay, so they're going to move forwards, are they? It looked like they were tempted to for a second there. Just edge forward ever so slightly. Because they will charge forward pretty quickly as soon as they realise that this is all a pointless endeavour. Been a while since we used Dane as well. Can't let Gimli have all the fun. Sons of the Fallen as well. Incredibly tanky unit. Definitely don't have the utility that those throwing axes and two-handed axes have. But are they going to move forward here, I wonder? One of our archer units is actually in range. Okay. Stadian cavalry's been a bit of a godsend as well. Well, they will move forward eventually, because they will take losses, and then as soon as the AI take a certain threshold of losses... Ooh. Maybe what would be best is if we put you two just a little further forward. Yeah, they're going to move forward pretty quickly after this. Orc fighters are certainly not as scary as some of the beasts we've been fighting up until this point. Can run into place. You, and you shoot at them. I really don't care about the melee troops, if I'm being honest. Right. And let's roll up with you. The same with you. And then you as well on this side, although it's a little bit all over the place. Okay. Dale Cavalry is probably all around the most useful unit in Erebor's roster. I don't know if I go that far. But I mean, it's just because you have no other cavalry options, it's such a useful tool for you to have. Right, let's just get in there. Now's when we the most archer-heavy dwarven army you're ever likely to see.
Our men are winning the battle. If we continue like this,
should be, yeah, that was definitely enough. That was a nice charge. Very, very nice indeed. You get out of there, because they're going to try and go after you. And all archers go after that unit there.
They have lost half their men.
Sons of the Fallen as well. What are you doing? Get out of there. Don't let the spears catch you. And didn't take absolutely no losses, but very, very negligible, to the point where we may even heal. Right. It's a good point, Val. But I mean, to be fair, when it comes to dealing with artillery as the dwarves, you can use your own artillery and be fairly confident in the fact that you're probably going to beat other artillery 1-to-1. Come on, don't... What are you doing? Kill them, please. There we
The
go.
enemy general lies dead. Let the crows have his miserable enemy army freeze the field.
Right, we've got to continue.
Cut the cowards down.
Go after the raiders. Don't know if we're going to be able to get absolutely all of them, but we should be able to get most. If the cavalry actually decides it wants to attack. Spent all this time praising them, and then all of a sudden they have a 0 IQ moment. And get after them.
Be in awe of the victory we have won here today.
60 losses with a few heals. Not that many heals, actually. Definitely need to get the healing trait on some of our main generals. He was now destroyed, but Gothmog, the lieutenant of Morgul, had flung them into the fray, Easterlings with axes and Variags with canned. Variags of canned. Canned would be another interesting campaign as well, just because, I mean, it is very much all about that event. Beleriand and pikemen don't need culture. Don't remember if Hammers of Gundabad don't need it too. Execute them all. Be nice if the Anduin actually took Yulstone. Would be helpful. Right, you. Right, well, I guess we don't have any movement anyway, so we'll just move there. Yeah, still reasonably happy about our defences. These guys are on the way forward as well. We'll be very happy with them there. Right. You two can get moving. Right, we'll continue to build. Continue to siege that down. And I don't think there's anything else we can do. Construction complete in Dane's halls. Good thing I noticed that, because we definitely want to be constructing something here. And I think what we want... Maybe... No, we don't... It's a fairly populous place anyway, isn't it? It's true, Val, but... roads. Moving backwards and forwards along the mountain range, we have a long realm. And it helps with economy and such as well. Okay. Now that Dane is here, it's just a case of who we want to try and tackle first, really. If there's really not much in Yulstone, I'll send Dane down with a little detachment, and most of the troops can wait up here in Gundabad in case of a counter-attack, and we'll take care of that first. Oh yes, this guy. Well, I mean, if this is a Dalian territory, like, what we'll do is we'll take this spy and put him down near Mistrand to see what's going on. Yeah, I know, Val. Like, it wouldn't be the next campaign I play, because I know that everything happens very quickly as canned when the Blue Wizard script occurs. Why are you stalling the destruction of the Gundabad faction? Because if I move too quickly, they'll recover? It's common sense. They've got a good force in Berzakul. I can't just send a couple of units at it. No.
Very well. It was just a suggestion. Good day to you.
Angmar want trade because they don't want us attacking. You can't just like lurch forward and just take everything quickly, especially when I can't just move in a single direction to kill what's left of Gundabad. It doesn't make any sort of sense. I know what I'm doing to the extent that I know when to attack and when not to, Angel. I'm not that dim. The ring has been located and it's still in Umbar, so that's still not really very important to us. Erebor, Kirik Gathol with a board, and Onazanar with a board. Right, so we built a grain exchange here, did we not? Perhaps what we need... We'll build a master stoneworkers hall because there's still stuff that can be built later. Yes, a ballista maker as well. Erebor, always nice to have something that we can build here. 3 turns for more growth. Actually, we probably could do with that, to be honest. Erebor's population isn't even as high as Dane's Hall's. And Kirik Gathol, we will go for a mining complex. Right, you. 1 turn to build all of that, so we shall maintain the siege. Right then. What do you think you're doing? Coming to attack me? What's that? No, I want to see what that is. A single unit. Right. They've got a decent amount of units down there, to the point where I probably need all of this stuff to finish them. Alternatively, what I could do, send out these lads here, build some mattocks. We shall... So how many units have we got in there again? 1 short of a half stack. So we could have all of this, or this, plus Dane in this fort. Actually no, we could do with 2 more, couldn't we? 2 more units we can fit in. A couple of labourers. Then you. We can't even fit all of this in. Well, we should probably... Hold on. This is like playing a game of Tetris at this point. We need to combine some units. There we go. So that's technically a full stack, albeit some of them are exceedingly damaged. Angmar will probably attack you sooner or later. I know, I mean, I kind of want Angmar to go to war with me, to be honest with you, because that was going to be our natural next target, but I was kind of hoping that we could mop up Gundabad first, but I guess that's just the nature of things, given the... We could just crush this unit. 5 losses. Nice. And then back in there. Deals with them. Gimli is now an infantry master. I think he's already got maximum command anyway, so I don't think that matters that much. Right, so as soon as these boys are across here as well, we'll link them up with Dane and then we'll attack Berzakul. We'll keep an eye on what happens in Yulstone as well. Other than that, pretty much good to carry on. Angmar declaring war on me right now might actually be kind of annoying, to be honest with you, because Gundabad are not going down completely without a fight. Building... How long until... Okay, so we're not that far away. Why are we on military build policy, boys? Disgraceful behaviour. Right, and yes, before I forget, I keep forgetting about this gentleman down here. So is this... We'll pass by a Drychan next turn, which I assume is still in Lothlorien hands. It'd be a bit worrisome if it's not. And... Not you. Actually, you do need to keep moving that. There you are. And that will do. Angmar have been doing reasonably well though. They're one of the few factions on the map to get their doing well message pop up. Them and Dale, which is an interesting pair. Even we haven't had ours yet, which is a little bit strange, but no matter. Hopefully Enid Wythe can continue to do reasonably well also. Right, so Gundabad are just holing up in Berzakul, which I'm just fine with. Fenris Druinin assaulted. So this is actually relevant to us now, because Angmar will soon become one of our chief foes. Elves and rangers alike have much to fear this day, for the home of the Dunedain is besieged by its enemies. Long have they hidden away in the lands of the Angle, and only now have they been found by its enemies. The rangers that guard this region will fight the enemy using every weapon they have. It will be a deadly fight, one that may decide the fate of the Dunedain. Well then. Okay, so they can make it, as can they. You go there. Get in there. So I think we can attack it immediately, which I think is something we probably do want to do. It'll be fairly bloody, that, because most of our force is made of poor labourers, but we have axe throwers, we have a couple of units of archers, we have the ballista. I mean, we should be fine, really. I'm making excuses not to do it, really, but Marauder Chief Bowlsmug. Is that the case that version 5? If you take Khan's territory, you'll gain access to some Orokani units. I've got no idea. We probably won't find ourselves as far afield as Khan. The furthest south we'll end up is probably going to be Barad-dûr or Mount Doom. Fenris Druinin is probably assaulted by Gobos. It could be true, but Angmar being as strong as they are, I suppose it is fairly early for Angmar to be attacking Fenris Druinin. And the goblins are right there, so yeah, I guess it makes sense. Angmar, anytime Fornost gets assaulted though, it's almost certainly Angmar. Right, so that is a full banner army, even if it is... Right, what have we got in there? So that is King Gurzog, which I think that is the Orc Avenger, isn't it? Yes. So he is their new king. It's not that scary of an army. We can easily hold Gundabad against a force such as that, even with a slightly battered and bruised collection of souls. Right, just before we get rolling on further. Settlement has enough food to last 2 turns. I'll attack it next turn, I suppose. And we'll just build more ladders. We'll have 1 ladder per man, or dwarf, that's attacking. Right, okay. Let's just see what transpires with this. Oh, we can't actually hit it this turn. I guess that's a bit of a shame. That means they could build more units, but if that's the case, then we'll just siege them for a little bit. There's no need to be concerned about that. Build any units here? Just labourers? What about you in Erebor? Ooh, Axe Guard of Erebor. Yes, please. And what else do we want here? Some spears, maybe? Yeah, spears would probably be quite handy. Gobos are now fighting mostly around Bree. Okay. Let us... Oh. Well, yeah, we'll save it, but need to keep reminding myself of the spy which is passing through this part of the world. That's a little bit concerning, I suppose. Dol Guldur hold Edrychan, which does start as a Lothlorien castle in the auto-expansion. So Dol Guldur are doing well against Lothlorien, but they don't seem to be doing very well against Mirkwood. Mirkwood are another faction that had the, hey, we're doing quite well thing pop up. Okay. We'll start heading down this way. Over rough country to see how Rohan are getting on. Just going on a tour of the map to see what people are doing. So you won at Gundabad, and did Gimli, son of Gloin, survive? He did indeed. It was a very, very interesting fight that, but he lives, very much the liberator of Gundabad. A true son of Durin, if ever I saw one. Right then. Ah yes, this little force. We will fight that battle first, I think, next turn. Angmar only attacks Fornost and Amon Sul. Fenestruinen is usually Moria. Angmar almost never attacks Fenestruinen because Moria usually takes Kameth Bryn. Go on, Khazad-dûm. The amount of stacks that Moria can get onto the field is impressive. Very necessary because of how weak their units are and the fact that Moria have got some of the most gnarly enemies in the early game that you could possibly ask for. Imladris, Khazad-dûm, the Northern Dunedain. Anduin Vale is probably the easiest early game faction they have to face. Right, well, we will move you over, I guess. Unit recruitment completed, Erebor, path blocked. Right, so we will probably fight that battle now, actually, and that can be where we end off. You will siege. Don't know how useful these ladders are actually going to be, but we have another siege tower? Yes, we can. Okay, so we shall siege them there. Yulstone is a little weaker now that they've taken out some of these units. Dane's Halls could do with some more units in it, actually. Can we... Oh, we're so close. So close to being able to build that up. Hey there, Jurgen. Right then. Oh, Nazanar. Can build more units there, but we don't necessarily need to at the moment. Axguard of Erebor are being built. Go for another unit of Erebor infantry. Just because it is the centre of our realm, we can start to pivot all of these reinforcements somewhere at some stage should they be required. Right, so the king is just going to hang out in Yulstone, which at this point is very heavily Orcish. Berzakul is almost certainly very heavily Orcish as well. Mount Gundabad, we're still building the Hall of Durin. Okay. Okay, so to round out this part, first of all, what we're going to do, start moving down this way with you. Entwade, we've got some Rohirrim stacks coming up this way. I hope that you're doing well against Isengard for your sake, Rohan, because if you're going to focus on Dol Guldur, that could be a problem. Like, Rohan were doing well, but they could end up falling on their own sword if they decide to approach things in that way. They're still moving. Okay. So this will probably be the final act of this part. We'll do Berzakul next time because I think that's a really good way to open things up. This should be fairly easy at this stage. Yeah, they're pretty depleted and these units are terrible as well, so let's go for it. The Northern Dunedain, Imladris and Khazad-dûm are probably the three most elite factions in the game, while Moria is easily the weakest. Quite so. Although I suppose early on there are certain things that you have going for you in that sense. Like the Elven units early on are very good, of course, but they take quite a while to replenish. Khazad-dûm as well, kind of pigeonholed. I suppose as well you don't have access to Goblin Town or Zag-Kala if you play. Oh lovely, our general is in a unit of labourers of all things. Right. You... Well, I mean, let's just see what they do first of all. Let's see if they pull back or if they don't. Right, the spears need to be on station to move and intercept the cavalry should it come out. I doubt it will, because that's generally not how the AI likes to do their business. The dwarven siege towers, probably not used to using such things. Right, you just drop those. Yeah, I mean, the reason why I wouldn't play Moria in 4.5 is because in version 5 they get the Balrogs. Unearthing Balrogs. I think there's more than one you can get, isn't there? I think there's certain settlements that if you take as Moria, you get a Balrog. Unless I'm mistaken. Which, that's cool. Rovanian Hunters. Not exactly the mark of quality that is required. Aha. Right, actually, you're an archer unit, so yeah, you drop that. They coming outside? Do you dare? And I suppose this means the towers are always going to be active no matter what we do. Privateer Cavalry, that's kind of an interesting unit. Pretty cool looking unit, honestly. Rovanian Riders. Right, okay, well if they're just going to sit there, then yes, we shall roll forth. You go there like that. Yes. Right, well, our spears should make quick work of a cavalry unit like this, especially with how the AI likes to use them by piling them into the front of your line. What are they going after? Our spears? Bit of a shame. I like the Oricani look as well. I mentioned this last time. I do like the way that they've been designed. You can definitely tell they're sort of a dwarven culture that's a little bit different just from their dress. There's some labourers up on the walls. Don't really mind if we take losses here because we're not really in danger of losing this settlement anytime soon. To be brutally honest. Actually, yeah, you go back and actually pick that ladder up now. At least it's an arrow tower and not a ballista one. Surprised the gate isn't open actually, given how close they are to it. Rovanian Hunters, I think, just have a very high damage. Have a very high damage javelin, possibly. They're the ones that are back in the TC, so right, try and avoid that broken section of wall as best I can. God, the speed of dwarves is a real problem when you're in a situation like this, isn't it? Classic medieval 2 towers. They're on the way forward. You move over there. Right, okay.
Our siege towers have reached the walls. Now our men have reached the gate with the battery.
Okay. Not many units which get more than 10. The half trolls do, I know that. Okay, we're going to go up onto the dangerous bit of the wall with our archers. Fine by me.
The ladders are now in place. Walls are no match for the valor and force of our arms.
Okay, are you all up here yet? Okay, reinforced gate nearly destroyed. There we go.
Now's the time for brave hearts and brave deeds.
Get in there. Got to make sure the ram is neatly packed away. Yeah, I guess go after them.
If we remain true and steadfast, victory will be ours.
I should certainly hope so.
Our soldiers have proved their worth today. The enemy's walls belong to us now.
Okay. Moria's heavy goblin unit is still not as good as the lowest tier Dunedain or Imladris units, so their size doesn't matter much. Well, I mean, there are 250 of them, and their armor values are not terrible. I do still think that, you know, the addition of the Balrog gives them a much, much needed, if for no other reason, like, mechanically the buff is very nice, but I think that even if you're playing as a Horde faction, you need at least some units that are, like, interesting. And the Balrog most certainly counts as that. Are they going to use the tower or the ladder? Either way, it doesn't really matter much to me as long as they get up onto that wall. This isn't going to be a very efficient battle for us by any means, but okay. Oh no, they're using the ladder. Okay, that's fine by me. I think the heavy goblin infantry work quite well for what Moria needs them to be. Charge forwards. Yeah, go after them as well. Archers are in a good place as well, so we should be able to shoot into them. Can we interrupt them? Yes. You love to see it. Get into shield wall and push forward so that you can actually be somewhat useful. Push to the front. Misty Mountains have some units which are quite decent, but they're rare. Their cav is devastating. Yeah, they have the Azog Defiler unit, right, which is, it uses the same model that the Bolg's Champion one does in Reforged. Top 5 evil cavalry though is a little bit. I mean, that's a small list of like really effective high tier evil cavalry. You've got the Guardians of Kharndum from Angmar. The Temple Knights from Mordor. The Innis Rim, obviously. Will you do a Gondor campaign in the future? I mean, slowly but surely, the intention would be to work our way through all of the campaigns. So yes, is the answer. Yeah, you can actually probably go around pretty safely. Oh god, you're so slow. It's painful. Painful to watch, boys.
The enemy general
That's good.
Let the crows have his miserable bones, and let our swords have his
Okay,
head.
they're finally shooting. Sandwich those Rovanian spears as well, and we should be golden. It's the Inasrim, the runic cavalry, the like heavy cataphract unit. Speaking of which, the Variag cataphracts from Cand. The Black Snake Guard, yeah, but the Black Snake Guard are a bodyguard unit, which is a little different. And the Ar-Adanaim cavalry is a sword cavalry unit, so it's like,
Lost half their men.
The Shadow Knights, very good. Yeah, still got a decent shot into them, and they're just not armoured enough for the situation at hand. Oof. Grim for them. Okay, yeah, they're routing now. Finish them all off. There's only 31 of these boys left as well. This is a really, like, it's been a long time since I've seen like the old, like, low-end Dalian units. Yeah, it's got to be between surely the Inasrim, the Variag cataphracts, and the Shadow Knights from Dol Guldur. Just because they're lance cav. Bulky lance cavalry as well. Depends on if you view Cand as a good or an evil faction, to be honest with you. There we go, we took more losses than them because of the arrow towers, but yeah, not terribly important. To be fair, it's probably, you know, less upkeep now, so not such a problem, methinks. Gives us a jumping off point into Rune as well, should they actually start to push back against Dale and Dorwinium. But if they're fighting both of them, I kind of doubt Rune's ability to face them both down. Glad I caught today's stream, always fun. Yeah, glad to have you around again, Calvin.
Glory to the king.
Don't know if we will, maybe we will get a man of the hour.
Lads, we've won.
Occupy settlement.
Aye, sir.
Right, well, we don't have a general in here. We didn't get a man of the hour either. Balanced build policy. They're still not thrilled with us, are they?
Aye. We march.
Well, you know what? They're going to have to suck it up and deal with it. Right, what do we have which will improve public order quickly? A pipe pole. And then these boys will also be getting in there, which will increase the garrison size. We might get a few riots, but ultimately nothing too problematic. And we already moved our spy, didn't we? Well, actually, we don't really want to be moving our spy. One unit of Axe Guard of Erebor at my capital. I was expecting it to be Northman Archers, so we're going to have 2 fresh units of Axe Guard of Erebor. Marvellous. Before the barracks event hits as well. We're setting the ground nicely. Right, and we're nearly there as well for upgrading that settlement. Everywhere else we're looking good. Okay, so I will save it there, and that will be the end of the stream for today, because I would take Berzakul, but I think Berzakul, like attacking Berzakul, would be a good way to open up the next stream. Start off on the right foot and all that, which the next stream will be on Thursday. At least that is the that's the intention, I think. So what's going to be happening throughout the week, because it's not just a case of like the streams are together and the videos are together for this week because of how the schedule is. What's going to happen is there's going to be a video released tomorrow, which is going to be a free-for-all on like a Rudour village surrounded by a fairly dense forest. And then on Thursday, I think Thursday is a completely clear day for me, whereas every other day, including today actually, has had stuff going on in it. So there'll be another stream on Thursday, and then there will be another video again on the Saturday. And from that point on, we might get back to the regular schedule. It kind of depends on how things are going to be moving forward. But if nothing else, this last week and a half has told me how difficult it's going to be to keep up a schedule like this, especially moving into next year. But that's something that can be talked about in a channel update a little bit closer to the time, I think. So yeah, tomorrow there'll be another video, and there'll be another stream on the Thursday. That's the plan at the moment, but keep an eye on the YouTube community tab, because that will be where I let people know about that. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this, and I hope you'll join me for whatever is next.